Chick's band had a singer, Charles Linton, and there wasn't that many bands that had female singers in the band.
If it wasn't for Chick, we wouldn't have had Ella. She was a poor little girl, an orphan, and had a terrible childhood.
I was like a little game girl in Yonkers. I never considered myself a singer. My real ambition was to dance. My friends and I, we all wanted to get on stage. And we drew straws to see which one of us would go on the amateur night at the Apollo. I drew the short straw. My legs turned to water and a million butterflies played tag in my stomach. They almost had to shove me on stage. There I was, nervous as can be, only 15 years old, and I froze. I got cold feet. The man in charge said that I better do something up there.
I saw Ella at the Apollo, and they booed her. And I felt so sorry for her.
We booed Ella Fitzgerald because she came on stage looking like, who? You gotta be kidding.
The audience was laughing. I didn't know one key from the other. I just sang.
When his eyes say yes and you're warm and your guess, that's Judy. Honey, we heard a voice, and like I said before, she shut us up so fast you could hear a rat piss on cotton.
She rocked the house.
3 encores later, the $25 prize was mine. That was the turning point in my life.
There's so many stories about Ella, her beginnings. Some of them are true, some aren't. Badu Ali was utilized by Chick as a front man on stage. He was a handsome guy, and Badu did a great job. He's the one that heard Ella sing at the Apollo Theater, and he took her to Chick.
You know how it is when someone's very busy and there's so many demands on Chick's time. Well, I kept going back every day that week. Finally, Chick was playing the next day at Yale University, and he was hurrying after the show to pack up and leave. But Badu Ali kept pleading for just one chance for me, and Chick agreed to listen to one song. I sang Judy just as I had on amateur night, and he said, "You've got the job."
My fur coat so low, Lord, ain't it cold? But I'm not gonna holler, 'cause I still got $1, and when I get low, oh, I get high.
They listen to that voice. She's got youth, vitality, and above all else, a freshness. Now I hope she's willing to be taught a few things.
Good job by everybody. Donate that.
I was always a big tomboy. It's funny because all my girlfriends growing up, well, they're playing with dolls, I'm climbing trees. It doesn't surprise any of them that I became a police officer.
Officer Patricia DeRosa has been with the Boston Police Department for 11 years.
Thanks, Sarge. Okay. It's funny when people say, you know, you're so little, how can you be a police officer? And my grandmother would always tell me, don't let anyone tell you you can't do anything because dynamite comes in small packages. Take a spin through, Joe.
She patrols the bustling downtown area. She doesn't have a partner, but does roll with a trusty sidekick.
Actually, my partner's right here on my side. This is my partner right here. Different being a female on the job. A lot of guys ask me for my phone number, regular guys on the street or if I'm directing traffic. As soon as I pull out my pen and ask them if they get a piece of paper, they get all excited. And I put
911.
Now you got a number.
There is a great need for biofuel. And, you know, with or without anybody's name on it, it just needs to be there, available. We can grow our own fuels. I do a radio show on XM Radio every Wednesday, and I talk to truckers all up and down the highway, everywhere, all over the country, and they all swear by it. They want to know, when can we find more places where we could buy it? That's the problem.
My name is Otis G. Clark. G is for Granville. I was born in Oklahoma before Oklahoma was a state. My mother's mother was full-blood Indian. Tulsa was a little oil capital of the world back then. We had confectionaries, hotels, our own little theater. The shows they were not talkies then. That was called silent movies. We was actually living nicely then. You can't get into heaven except to have the Holy Ghost. And that God said to come unto me, and God will give you the Holy Ghost. The Salvation Army preached to me, changed my life. I got put in jail there trying to sell corn whiskey. I sold whiskey to the wrong character. But you got to be separated from the world. One of the men we thought was all right, but he was stool pigeon. And you shall find rest for your soul. And in jail, where I got really blessed, I decided to become an evangelist.
Welcome back to BET's Heart of the City. I'm Chris Webber. Now it should be clear to anyone who's paying attention that many of America's urban schools are failing, producing more than 1 million dropouts a year. The question is, can anything be done to improve the graduation rate in America's worst schools? In my hometown, Detroit, the search for answers has begun, and solutions are definitely being found.
Your career is over, Womack! Your career is over!
Faced with a dysfunctional school board and a $250 million budget deficit, in January 2009, the governor of Michigan put an emergency financial manager in charge of the Detroit public school system.
If they commit a crime, we are coming after them.
Within months, Robert Bobb closed 29 low-performing schools and fired 2,500 employees.
Over a period of time, those who've been in charge of the school system have allowed it to reach what I would consider a very critical point in its history. To some extent, we're on life support.
It was the state that took out our internal auditing function. We had $46 million that just walked out the door. There absolutely has been corruption. The state comes in and takes over and says, well, we're going to fix the finances. As far as I'm concerned, truthfully, they were supposed to fix them. They broke them. They should fix them.
We're leaving the future of our children up to political systems at the local level, which have proven time after time to be very inefficient.
And Robert Bobb has a powerful ally in his mission to fix the Detroit school system.
You guys ready for the start of the school year?
President Obama's Secretary of Education, Arne Duncan, who just a few months after taking the job, visited the city he called Ground Zero in the fight to improve graduation rates.
We can't turn a blind eye from Detroit. We can't look away. That's got to be a place where we draw a line in the sand and say no more. Those children deserve dramatically better than what they've been given today and what they've been given, frankly, for years.